So recently I've gotten a few comments, questions about minimalism and how I became a minimalist and my journey. Honestly, this isn't like the perfect straight line. I wasn't a minimalist, I learned all these things, and now I am. It was more like a line graph where I would learn a lot of information and then I would fall off the wagon a little bit, learn a little bit more information, fall off the wagon again a little bit more. And so it was a learning curve, to say the least. So let's start with one of the first things that I worked on when I was becoming a minimalist, and that was just defining my value and my goals. So after I watched the Minimalist documentary by Joshua Fields Milburn and Ryan Nicodemus, you can find it on YouTube still. And after I watched that, I realized that I was very lost, that I was very unhappy, and something had to give. So I didn't immediately change overnight. It took some time, but in that moment, that realization that I had to change, I began slowly building up what my new values were going to be. That I no longer could value just things, because I realized very quickly in watching that video that things were not bringing me any happiness besides that immediate dopamine hit when I was in line buying something. Literally 5 seconds later, I was unhappy again. So you might ask, well, okay, now that you are reflecting, then where do you go from there? So once I've created this whole plan that I am going to change my idea of how I perceive my things, then I'm going to declutter my space. So questioning why am I keeping something is an actual task I had never really thought about before. Holding up something in your hands and really deeply questioning, why do I need this? As simple as, I have 4 pairs of scissors. Why do I need the 4th pair? I mean, guys, these things were things I had never questioned myself. I just brought all these things in and never second guessed why I would need them or not need them. So as you are going on your journey, first you have defined, my life isn't working out. I need something to change. I'm very unhappy with the level of clutter in my house. And I've tried just organizing my clutter and it's not working. Now I'm going to change. Now I'm going to start decluttering. I'm going to really question the things that I'm keeping and why I am keeping them. For me, it was my realization that I had over 10 things of Windex in my house. That was the straw that broke the camel's back. I had no idea I had that many bottles of Windex, and why would I ever need 10 bottles of Windex? For my entire life, I could have kept the Windex and never gone through the whole thing. Thinking about that junk drawer, start there, open it up. Are these things adding value to my life? Am I using the stapler? If I'm somebody who never staples paper, am I only keeping the stapler in case of an emergency stapling situation? Or could it be something that maybe I could go borrow it from a neighbor or a friend if I really needed stapling that one time I'm ever gonna use it? And that goes into simplifying your possessions. So deciding, do you value quality or quantity? For me, for years, I only valued quantity. The cheaper, the more I could get it, the more I wanted. I told you guys I was the queen of the thrift store and I loved yard sailing. So I was always looking for that next deal. And while I still have that thrifty nature, I do not buy things if I don't think that they are nice quality, if I don't think that the value is there, because then they're not gonna last me as long. And it's something that my grandma told me my entire life, but I never took it to heart. She said, buy quality. Buy things that are really going to last and you will have them forever. And if you look around my grandma's house, she has the same furniture that she's had since I was a little child, my mom was a little child, because they bought slowly and only bought quality items that I really were excited to have. If you're new here, my name is Becky Truda, and on Minimalist, we are a community that focuses on minimalist and decluttering skills so that we can live an easier life. If you are also on this journey already with us, then throw a heart emoji down below. But let's talk about streamlining But let's talk about streamlining our commitments, which is a very difficult one, especially when my daughter started getting into more and more activities outside of the house: swimming, gymnastics, soccer, everything in between. And I can only imagine, if you have multiple children, how stressful that can be. And if you have a full-time job, how stressful that can be. So really what I had to decide when I first started out streamlining my calendar was I had to pick the top 3 things that were going to be the most important. And after that, I was going to have to start cutting things down. So for my daughter, between my husband and I, we realized that we can have one extracurricular commitment that is going to be every single week. So she gets to pick every season, whether it's soccer or swimming or gymnastics, or she wants to try something totally new. She has that opportunity, but beyond all the school stuff that we do as well, we can only have one extracurricular activity. And that's where we found comfort, where we could make that commitment without extending ourselves so far beyond where we felt comfortable, where we were always rushing around and not really being able to focus on the family as a whole doing things together. What I've also found with really being able to redefine our schedule is that we have a lot more of time together, like game nights. And just last night, we had a game night. We have been playing our new favorite game, Sequences for Kids, which is a really fun game. And we do that almost every night between Racco and Sequences and several other games we have. We have built in time in the evening that we can have this time together to really bond. But if we're always outside the house, we're always doing something extracurricular outdoors, we don't have time to have that bonding time together. Number 8 is one of my favorites, so you're gonna have to hang on for that. But number 5 is also very important, and that is to simplify your finances. Whether it is creating a whole budget like we did, where we use a spreadsheet and you are calculating exactly how much you are using every month, or you could try using cash, or for us, what we just did in the very beginning, after we did our budget, we just wrote it down in a book every day, how much we were spending, and had a quick conversation about what we were spending, where we went. And that really helped us, especially in the beginning of creating a budget, to really evaluate where we find value in our lives. The idea of what kind of luxuries do you not want to get rid of in your life? Maybe you really enjoy going out to eat and you don't want to get rid of going out to eat. So you need to really build in where you find importance in your life. And what we found is that, we do like going out to eat on occasion, and we don't want to get rid of that. So instead of spending all this money on Amazon and all these things we don't actually need, we could be saving that money and putting it into the budget of going out to eat so we can go have those experiences together. The next one that really helped me while I was struggling with the idea of minimalism and not buying things all of the time was just the fact of writing down what you're grateful for. And I did this for about a month. And every day I wrote one more thing that I was grateful for. So the first day I wrote down one thing. The second day I wrote down 2 things I was grateful for. The third day, 3, as you can see, it went on and on and on. But I did that for 8 months, and it was one of the most eye-opening things I've ever done. And while every day it did take me a little bit longer, it really was not that hard to find things that I was grateful for, whether it was just being able to use my body in the way that I want to, being able to go on walks outside, listening to the birds, watching my favorite squirrel, Chunky Larry, eat my food that I leave for him outside. I mean, little things that we can find to be grateful for. And a lot of them, I will have to say, are not even possessions. They're experiences. They're things that I was doing, things that I was seeing outside of my home that I was really grateful for. And I mean, down to like the smell of coffee and how that makes me so happy in the morning. So writing down things that you're grateful for, I challenge you to try what I did. Do one extra thing you're grateful for every day for 30 days and keep that list around for those days when you are having a hard time being grateful or finding things to be happy about in your day. And bring that list out, and you will quickly remember that there are many tiny, minute things around us every day that can bring us so much joy and happiness. All right, so I told you I like this one, and that is to reevaluate regularly. It is something that in the beginning I didn't do nearly enough. I would do a big declutter, and then I would just be like, okay, I'm done forever now, right? I don't ever have to declutter ever again. And what I quickly realized is that because I'm human, I am also fallible. I also make mistakes and I bring things in that I don't really need. And then I have to reassess and reevaluate what I have in my home. And the other aspect of that is that as you are going on in your minimalist journey, what you will find, I guarantee this to be true, what you will find is that your level of minimalism will change. When I first started this journey of minimalism, I just wanted less possessions out all of the time. I wanted it to be a little bit easier on me. So I got rid of a few things and I cleared out a few big pieces of furniture and I thought I was done. I thought it felt much better and it did feel better. But then I realized in a few months that, oh, I have all these extra clothes that I haven't gotten rid of and I've just been hanging on to them and I'm not really going to ever wear them again. Oh, maybe I can reevaluate my closet again and get rid of some more. Or maybe I want to try a 3-3-3 wardrobe. And wow, it really woke me up that I don't need all of these extra clothing pieces. So being open to the journey and reevaluating the things that you have, even if you think, no, I'm going to keep this forever. This is going to stay in my life forever. You never know. Life happens. Big things change. And don't just close the door on reevaluating your things every couple of months. So the next one I want you to try is to build in some kind of community. So for me, I built Minimalist. I built this YouTube channel because I needed somebody to talk to. And I know you think, oh, you guys, you're just talking to yourself. But no, I realized very quickly when I started these videos that I wasn't alone. And I very much felt alone for a long time on this journey of minimalism because I didn't have friends and family that were supportive of this. I didn't have friends and family that I could talk to that were going through the same things as me. And even though my husband was very supportive of this journey and still is, we are on different parts of the spectrum of minimalism. And so I just felt like I needed somebody to talk to. So reaching out, and whether you're just commenting on these videos and we're able to talk back and forth about our journeys, or whether you can actually find a friend in person that you can talk to and declutter together, I guarantee you that your journey is going to go much further. You're going to be able to declutter a lot faster. You're going to be able to hold yourself accountable for living a minimalist life a lot easier if you have a community, or if you even have just one person that you can talk to about your journey. And that goes into being patient but persistent. We as people often, I've found, want to see results immediately, right? When you watch the Minimalist documentary, which I hope you will if you haven't already, Ryan Nicodemus packed up all of his things in boxes and then after a month got rid of all the boxes that he hadn't pulled things out of.
What is essential? What is necessary? How much of this stuff is actually adding any value to my life?
We have the opportunity to have so much.
Anything that you can think of, you can get on your doorstep.
But I couldn't do that. I lived with other people. I didn't live alone, and I couldn't just get rid of everything at once. It was a process. It was a journey that I am still on to this day, but don't give up on yourself so quickly. If going through that one drawer was really exhausting and now you don't feel like decluttering anymore, then give yourself a break and enjoy that one drawer that you decluttered. If you want to start with the kitchen, but you can't face your closet, start with the kitchen. I guarantee you that minimalism to me, decluttering to me, is kind of like playing dominoes, but not the actual game. You know, like when you line all the dominoes up and then you slowly push one over and then they all start falling, right? You've done that before, haven't you? That's what minimalism has been to me. Every once in a while, something will get in the way and kind of stop your journey and you will get stale, stagnant. You won't be decluttering anymore, but that's okay, because once you've started the journey, you know how to restart the journey, right? Once you've begun, once you get started decluttering literally anywhere in your house, you will reap the benefits. Your mornings will be easier, your evenings will be easier, you will wake up a little bit clearer, a little more fresh, and you will feel better in your home, you'll feel calmer in your home. And that is even with just decluttering this small junk drawer. I challenge you to not give up and to keep being persistent, because I did not become a minimalist. I don't have an organized home overnight, and it's not even close to perfect in my home, but I guarantee you that you will reap the benefits of every time you put in a little effort. You will see the benefits come back to you tenfold. So as you continue on your minimalist journey, please click on one of these videos right here and continue learning, because the more you know, the better you can do, the more you can push yourself to keep going, because knowledge is power.